I'm so sorry, guys. Ready?
That's right.
Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
And coming up on the show, what's making news in Australia? We take to the streets to find out people's views on climate change. Climate researcher Sylvia Ramsey joins us for an exclusive interview and ways you can start your own garden even without a backyard. Plus a new recipe to test out in the kitchen. This is The Backyard. Hello and welcome to The Backyard today. I'm joined by Sophie Lingham, my co-host.
Hello.
And thanks for coming to the studio. Here's what's making news this week. Queensland and New South Wales are experiencing the earliest bushfire season to date. With over 80 fires burning across the states, new research is focusing on relocating communities to safer areas. This will help prevent fires in your backyard. Emergency services recommend keeping your garden and gutters clear of leaves and keeping hoses close by.
And there's also doubt whether the annual river fireworks will go ahead this year. Many are concerned the display could potentially ignite further fires, worsen the issue, and the organisers of the event see 2019 as a perfect opportunity to raise funds for Give It and the Queensland Bushfire Appeal.
Which is a very much needed appeal.
Absolutely.
And in terms of sport, cricket associations are changing playing conditions to deal with the heat, as recent reports from Lords warns it will only get worse. This includes playing shorter games, having longer drink breaks and calling off matches if the temperature passes 42 degrees.
Ooh. Meanwhile in Cairns, Howard, the 4-metre neighbourhood croc seems to be sunbaking a little too close for comfort, and some residents liking. Terry Owen has weighed in on the matter, stating Howard would be welcome at Australia Zoo if caught. Over 600 people have signed a petition to let the cheeky croc be. The Queensland Department of Environment warns people in the area not to feed Howard.
Don't feed Howard.
Don't feed Howard. And Mick Jagger supports climate change protests on Venice red carpet. Many other protests for climate change have occurred in the past week, making a significant statement just before the UN Climate Summit.
Right, well then let's head to the streets to see what people have to say about climate change.
Climate change is an issue. It's scientifically proven, so based on evidence.
Definitely a real issue.
Absolutely.
Yes.
If people are denying climate change, then they're idiots.
I have a nephew.
From an Indigenous perspective, it affects me.
I'm asthmatic. I find my breathing is really badly affected.
It does affect me.
People are like mining and oil fracking on sacred land.
And this place that we live in isn't ours anymore. It's actually for future generations.
I've been protesting since I was about 18 and I'm now 48.
To tell the government to do their side.
Cycling more, polluting less.
We need to do stuff now.
Knowledge that this is happening.
If you don't need to drive somewhere, then don't drive somewhere, just walk.
But we need to move the economy away from fossil fuels.
I'm hoping that people wake up.
We are now joined by researcher Sylvia Ramsey in the studio. Welcome, Sylvia.
Hello, Sylvia.
Thank you very much for having me.
So, share with us, the audience and ourselves, a little bit about what it is that you do.
So my background is in social work, and I'm interested in how we can integrate environmental well-being into our everyday lives.
Right.
So is there anything we can be doing to help?
Yeah, there's lots of stuff, and we heard some great examples from the people in the street, but I'm going to concentrate on 4 things today. The first thing we should do is to witness. So we need to get out there into nature and we need to see what's there. What is that frog that you can hear calling at night? When does your creek flood? How does that bird feed her babies? We need to know what's there so we know what's missing. And the second thing we can do is advocate. So we need to give a voice to nature because nature doesn't have a voice herself. Yes. And so we can get on the phone, send an email, write a letter, join a rally, and let the people in power know what the environment needs to enhance its well-being. The third thing we should do is to network, so we can talk to people that we know, get to know other people, tell them what we're doing to help the environment and find out from them what they're doing. And then the fourth thing that we should do is to do some self-evaluation. So we can look at our own lives and think, what is it that I can do today to help the environment? And it may be a small thing. It might be just taking a keep cup. It might be starting a compost heap. It might be eating vegan. So do you ladies have some ideas?
I don't know, I don't have a compost heap, but I live in an apartment. Do you have one?
Yes, we have one in the backyard, have since I was little myself. But we also practice in our house, you know, the 3 R's: reduce, reuse and recycle. So everything that I purchase, usually I will visit the secondhand store first. If I can't find it there, then I will go to retail, but usually I'll go scavenge at my rallies first and see if they've got it.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I should try that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what I do, I just don't really like shopping very much, so I tend to not buy too much. So less consumerism means less landfill, which is good. So yes, that's what I do to help.
Yeah, maybe you could look into having a bokashi bucket being in an apartment.
Now let's see if Susan has one of those, because we're going to head over and see what gardening tips she has for us today.
Now that it's spring, it's a great time for being outside in the garden to plant fruit and veggies. In our modern age, it's almost impossible to think that we can do it. But with some tips and tricks, you'll be growing fresh food in no time at all. Take, for example, this pot. It's a vertical garden, so that it'll fit into most spaces around your home. We're going to plant dwarf tomatoes. Dwarf veggies are ideal for shallow, narrow spaces. We're going to use potting mix. This one is an Australian certified product, and it has Osmocote. Osmocote is a controlled release fertiliser that will release nutrients into your soil. It also has wetting agents that release moisture. Also importantly, it has water crystals. These moisten your plants throughout the warm weather. And if you liked your tomatoes on the sweeter side, try adding a little bit of bicarb soda. About 1/4 of a cupful, like so. Now, the soil will absorb the baking soda, which lowers the acidity and results in sweeter tasting fruit. And today we're going to plant some herbs. We have mint, basil, and parsley. There's so many benefits for you and the planet. Growing your own produce means less trips to the grocer, less imported food. You save time, energy, money and waste. All you reduce your carbon footprint. Back to you guys at the studio.
And thank you, Sue. Now we're back in the studio and we've been cooking up quite the storm with some of our own fresh veggies, as you'll see here, as long as I don't knock things off the table. Luckily, Sophie's doing the cooking. What's on the menu, Sophie?
Oh, today we'll be cooking pesto pasta with cherry tomatoes.
Delicious.
So to make this, you'll need 1 large bunch of basil. Can you grab that for me?
Basil.
Yeah, please. 3 medium cloves of garlic and a handful of raw pine nuts. And we also have 3/4 cup of Parmesan cheese,
All right.
please. And some diced tomatoes.
All right, I'm the assistant today because I'm not very good at cooking.
Oh, why not?
No one to cook for.
And extra virgin olive oil. And in the break, we put our pasta on the stove.
I think we forgot the basil.
And
Put
the
in a bit of basil.
ingredients have also been pre-prepared. Now mix in all these ingredients together in the bowl, and you should have something that looks like this. Quick.
All right, I'll quickly plate up the pasta that's been pre-cooked.
Lovely and
delicious.
Perfect. Alternatively, we can just blend everything together in a food processor, and sometimes people like to put the pesto mixture in the fridge and use it a day later because it has a little bit more flavour to it.
Nice.
By now the pasta should be cooked, which means we're ready to plate. Awesome. And there you have it, fresh pesto pasta.
Smells delicious.
Oh, absolutely.
Do we get to eat this after the show?
You can, and look at how good you've done. You can cook now. You can cook for your husband.
I know, the husband I don't have. There we go, everyone. Look at that. That's beautiful.
Husband-to-be.
So we shall share that with our audience as well. There's enough for everybody
here.
here.
You'll get lots of proposals today from them.
I hope so.
Yeah.
All right, now that's actually all we have time for today. But if you want to check out this tasty recipe or more, head over to our show website, thebackyard.com/recipes. And stay up to date. Make sure you check out our social media. And thanks for watching The Backyard.
I'm Sophie.
And I'm Charmaine. And this is The Backyard.
Thanks for watching.